Yeah, one time. Where you been, man? Where you been? Yeah.
Yo, what's good, guys? I serve as the creative director for STG Filmmakers, man. Welcome to the second and the third day of the It's Okay music video shoot performed by Spell. If you guys missed out on the first day for behind the scenes, you guys can check it out right here. But for the second and third day, I figured I'd just go ahead and bundle that into one video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the overall concept going into day 2 and 3 of the shoot. And then we'll pull up some screenshots of each one of the scenes and we'll go over exactly how we plan on lighting them. With this music video being a 3-day shoot, I really wanted to make sure that we brought in as much help as we could throughout filming each one of the days. So as you guys are taking a look at some of this behind the scenes footage, I'd just like to mention just a few people that were able to make this behind the scenes music video possible. We got J.Guam behind the camera shooting the BTS scenes. We got Anna helping out with the modeling side. We also have Sammy J. We also have driving support people to help us come, allow me to shoot from the back of their trucks, and just it got pretty crazy come day 3. Overall, most definitely 100% success. I appreciate all the help and support. Day 2 started off like super sporadic, man. I wasn't able to get a hold of the model until a few hours prior to the shoot, so I was kind of stressing out about that a little bit. Artist woke up a little late, so we had to make sure he was straight, ready to go in terms of like wardrobe and just overall preparation for the shoot in general. Some of the props we needed, we still had to go out and purchase prior to the shoot. So a lot of the stuff was poor planning on my part as the director, and so that's most definitely going to go down on my improved list. Consolidating all the elements needed prior to the shoot is most definitely something that I need to work on. But obviously there's improvements from each project that we take on that we can, apply to our next project, so I really wasn't stressing out too much. Now when it came to actually setting up scene 2, it pretty much went flawless from the time we started recording all the way until cut. In terms of the overall chemistry that the artist had with the model, I really had no complaints about that, man. As soon as the model came, they actually knew each other from a previous event, so that kind of allowed us to skip past that, hey, let's break the ice, let's meet each other, let's get comfortable with each other first before we actually hit the record button. All that went away as soon as the model showed up and was immediately familiar with Spell, the artist, so that was super good. That helped out tremendously. As you guys see here in this scene, I'm shooting with the 18 and 35mm Sigma Art, shooting at f4 for this particular scene, so this allowed me the opportunity to make sure that both subjects remained in focus throughout the entire take. And since we're filming so close to the talents, this allowed the background to be blurred to provide that nice eye appeal, which is always most definitely a plus. Here in the next scene, all we got is the artist and the model kind of horse playing around in the waves a little bit. It was more or less a freestyle b-roll shoot at this point for these two talents. I think all I told the model to do at this point was just try and push the artist into the waves, just try and get him wet, or just try to trip him up, make him fall. This kind of stuff always incites really good candid smiles and laughter in camera. As you can see here, the artist is picking up the model, trying to just horseplay around. All this stuff really looks good on camera, especially in slow motion. Now the day before this shoot, Blackmagic had just released a brand new firmware for the 4K, so lucky for us, we were able to test out that 2.7K at 120 frames per second, and as you can see by some of these shots here, it turned out really well.
Where you been? Tell me, where you been?
All right, man, what we got here is the artist's first solo performance scene. This is kind of the medium shot that we were doing for the second take. And as you can see, starting out immediately, you can see a nice soft backlighting that we chose to use for our backlight for this particular scene. So as you can see here right off the bat, we got the nice soft diffused sunlight coming in from the back that was backlighting the subject, providing us with this nice separation right here. And also some of this light was also spilling over into his face a little bit, providing even more separation. And then off to this right side here, we've got the Yongnuo YN360. Once again, J.Guam just was holding it up at a 45-degree angle off to the artist's left side or to the frame's right, as you see right here. This light was color matched to the actual temperature of the backlight, so I believe it was at around 4200 Kelvin, providing us with a really nice key light onto the artist's face here on the left side. So yeah, man, not a really particularly difficult setup in terms of lighting. However, the key thing to take away is that we were cognizant, we were aware in terms of where each one of these lighting sources were coming from, and the artist was strategically put where you see him, and the light was, purposefully put in the spot that it was put in. So nothing about this scene is on accident. However, it's super simple, man. It's a super simple technique to use, especially when you have a really nice diffused sun in the background, separating that subject from it. Now in this second still grab here, it's essentially the same lighting technique we used for the first one. We have the nice soft diffused light here in the background provided by the sun, and the same exact story for our key light. We had J.Guam holding the YN361 light, which is a bicolor light that we had set to around 4200 Kelvin, providing us with the nice key light coming on to our subjects here. Once again, really simple setup, really simple lighting technique here. While the YN360 probably wasn't the best choice to use for our key light, I would have actually rather have Bounce Sun using a bounce card or a bounce board. But either way, the YN360 proved to be a good key light for us here in this particular scene anyway. So transitioning over from day 2 to day 3, had a little bit of a hiccup when it came to scheduling in one of the models to come in for the day 3 shoot. So what we ended up going through was the original plan we had actually for the bike scene. In this scene, the artist is simply riding his bike down the street, vibing to the music. You got the cars flowing in the background. I really wanted that sunset to be in the back of the artist, so he was backlit. My original plan was to have another vehicle with someone holding a bounce car, bouncing some light back onto his face. But just the overall difficulty of this shot in particular, I really wanted to minimize adding more traffic to the scene than we were already doing anyway. Luckily, it wasn't too dark and we really didn't need the bounce card anyway, so everything worked out in that respect. This scene overall was a success. I really don't have anything to complain about. There were even people riding along next to the artist while we were driving down the street, cheering and vibing to the music right along with the artist, so this worked out for the overall scene in general. Now for this last scene, I really only wanted to do one take. And so what I had to do in camera basically was just switch out my focal lengths from 18 to 35 whenever possible, just to make it look like we did, more takes than we actually did. And as you can see in some of this behind the scenes footage, all I had the artist do was kind of weave in and out from each one of the lanes as traffic permits. As always, we want to make sure everybody's safe on the set. We don't want nobody getting hurt or none of that stuff. So this worked out to our benefit. If you guys have shot any footage with the 4K or the 6K within the sunset environment, I'm gonna hook y'all up with the exact color grade that I used for this specific project. So check it out in the description below. It's available for purchase. Save yourself mad time, energy, man. Click, drag and drop. It's done. It's a wrap. Good to go. Appreciate y'all tuning into these behind the scenes videos as we put them out. As always, if you guys have any questions, don't forget to hit me up on SCG Filmmakers. You can find me on TikTok as well. If you have any technical questions concerning this video, leave them in the comments below. Other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one. God walk close and I can't get enough. Listen up. I've been on my business, homie. I ain't got no finish. Killing record after record. I think I'm offending Guinness. Paraclete push, then you gotta walk. And if we talking about the game, I ain't gotta flop. And if we talking about the shit, I got it don't lie. Y'all ain't really about it. It's a lot of talk. Yeah, like that. Where you been? Yeah. Shooting at f4 throughout this scene, so this allowed me to make sure that both of the subjects stayed in focus throughout the entire